Since the beginning of the year, obviously the biggest question was always to know where Gautam could lead. In these 6 races, he shows us that he did very, very nice improvements. The slight pressure that comes from him, which is in the second in the championship. There is only one word, is patient. It's very difficult for an Indian, especially because there is no big history about Indian racing in Europe, being achieved already 9 podiums. So start from that, the achievement is big already. Obviously, he's still learning. Here in Mugello, we're trying to putting all the package together and see where we will lead him. But he's very, very close to the winning, so we're there.
Gautam Singhania is a man driven by his passions, and motor racing has been in his blood since he was a young man. This is his story.
Welcome to Mugello, the 2015 edition of the Finali Mondali here in Italy, in this fantastic place, in this fantastic circuit. We have in the Challenge Series 75 cars and drivers coming all around the world. Gautam had a fantastic season. Then we will see what will happen during the Finali Mondali, but it was an amazing season. And if we consider him a rookie in his class, the Coppa Shell class, is definitely the best first season of Coppa Shell Challenge drivers we had so far, according to the number of results and the podium he got.
Places of the car goes very sideways there. I think that may have been Eric Truman. Gautam Singhania, that is an absolute disaster.
The guy is doing exactly what he needs to do here to defend third position.
Diver is right on him now, looking for a way past. So now Gautam Singhania has locked in a big, fierce battle with the two of them.
Well, here we are, round 7, the finals, the world finals. Today some more testing and setup. The car's quite good so far.
So what are we doing now?
Well, Ferrari wants to shoot the guys who are fighting for the championship. So they want to go do a photo session. So that's why we're taking Gautam for that. And once we get done with that, then we shall start prepping for testing today.
How you feeling, Jack?
Yeah, I was just worried about some certain guy.
What's that?
I don't know, he's got like this Raymond thing on.
Okay.
I'm a bit worried about him. He's second, but he's got quite a stiff road ahead of him. He's got to collect all maximum points. It can be done, and this is motor racing, so yeah, anything's possible. So we'll see.
And do you think it's a particularly good track for the finals?
Can I do that afterwards?
Can you do that afterwards?
Yeah. No, because I want to get these fucking notes.
Oh, you got notes?
I've got to be in the car in 5 minutes.
Fine. That's fine.
You're right.
You crack on.
I was sitting here because I don't know.
Try and escape. Okay.
Notes. Go tap. It's faster.
Have a good race. And
My name is Peter Spinella. I'm the team manager for Ferrari Long Island Racing. For us, coming from New York, both our team and our drivers have never driven or raced in Europe, and it's a completely eye-opening experience, and it's a lifetime experience. Racing is racing. We're passionate about racing, but to race a Ferrari in Italy with an Italian team, an Italian background, Italian-American team is, it doesn't get much better than this.
Qualifying for race 1 will set the tone for the entire weekend, and all the teams are acutely aware of how important the first qualifying session is.
Mugello is a very difficult track. You have a lot of up and down, and especially for Mrs. Singhania, it's 2 times very difficult because unfortunately last round we had in Mugello, he didn't finish 2 races. Out of 2 races, the first one for a mechanical failure, the gearbox failure, the second one because he had a crash, he has been pushed out from another driver.
As they touch 2, 3, 4 times. Oh, they take out Gautam Singhania. That is an absolute disaster. The 3 of them are probably wiped out of this race.
Racing, it's all about passion. It's about adrenaline, it's about pure spirit of competition, and as well Ferrari is one of the most important brands worldwide. That's the reason why this weekend here at Mugello we are expecting more than 22,000 people looking at the championship and attending at the event.
I'd like you to run in the last 10-12 minutes, okay? You have 4-5 laps maximum because you need to keep the tire for the race, okay? There are 36 cars. They've gone out just 12 cars. Yeah. 3 minutes to get in the car.
In order to be a success in the high-pressure world of motor racing, a driver must have a team that backs him with the right technical knowledge as well as astute decision-making. And that's exactly what Andrea brings to the table with his experience.
I'm scared about too many cars in the track, so jump on. What do you think? At the moment they're waiting, but they're gonna be 30 cars, 36 cars.
I don't know.
Okay.
What do you say?
They come in. Hopefully they come in. So in 5 minutes anyway, you jump in.
In racing, the difference between success and failure is measured in seconds, and that's why it's crucial that everything falls into place at just the right time for a driver to taste success at this level.
You should be in a quite good spot, so start even to push from the first lap.
All Andrea can do now is wait and watch as Gautam starts to ratchet up the pace lap by lap, with the ultimate goal of finishing on the top of the grid for race 1.
So you are in a good spot to do a good 2-3 laps. Okay, go.
With a clear track in front of him, this is Gautam's best chance to make his mark in this qualifying session and come away with a grid position that will give him the edge in the actual race later in the day.
Push, your last lap. Push. Yes, sir! Yes! Okay, yeah. Slow down and finish this lap. Duvier is changing tire, and Prinot is doing his best lap at the moment, but he's 4 tenths behind you, so we see what he's doing. Very, very well done. Okay, you still P1, 4 minutes to go. Well done. Togethia is on now with the second set of tires, but it's P2, it's 3 tenths behind you, and Prino to P3 is 4 tenths behind you. And you are P6 total, but P1 of the Shell. Bravo. Bravo.
Having driven out of his skin to take provisional pole position, it becomes a waiting game for Gautam to see if his rivals can better his time before the qualifying session comes to an end.
It's P3 for sure. No, you P1.
It's a very big surprise to have Gautam Singhania, because in the first experience in the championship he showed to us, but to everybody, he's fighting for the second position in the championship, and believe me, it's unbelievable. Never seen, never seen.
Oh, hold on. Oh, fuck.
Oh, no, no.
Oh, fuck, Mugello.
I got a good lap. Struggling last 2 days. P1. What more can I ask for?
Alright, man, this is it. Down to the wire.
Down to the wire.
How do you feel? What are you feeling inside?
Stress. I was struggling yesterday. But yeah, P1.
Great.
Never realized and imagined that Gautam will be doing so well. And when he told me that he's getting into this racing and he's going to be at the pinnacle, I never thought that Gautam was serious about it. But now when I came here, I realized that Gautam is doing so wonderfully well that people can't even think of back home.
10 minutes to pit lane open. Go straight and we do 2 laps.
He's so careful about his food. He goes up to sleep by 9, gets up at 6 in the morning. So his commitment, his focus, I think that proves that he can be #1 in the world.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling it. Just excited, nervous. We got our first official P1. All year waiting for that. So let's hope that converts into P1 on the grid, of course, and P1 in the race. We got to keep P0 behind us, which is good. So could be more excited at this moment. So let's see how it goes. Because the race, the first corner is very crucial.
Roger check.
Good afternoon and welcome to the sunshine that is the Finali Mondali of the Ferrari Challenge season. We are here at Mugello and the first race is going to be for Coppa Shell. Who's on pole position? Gautam Singhania. Who's P2 in the points? Gautam Singhania. Who's P2 on the grid? Shaq Diver. Who's P1 in the points? Shaq Diver. It's going to be a fascinating race to come.
Still at the front, still going well, so going to be an exciting race. I hope they just keep it clean.
And you can see the grid assembling ahead of us. Gautam Singhania, who is on 144 points, and Shaq Diver is on 184 going into this race. So basically Gautam needs to win both the races across the weekend. Right on cue, the cars go. Led by Gautam Singhania with Jack Diver to his outside, then it's Eric Prinot and Dirk Adamski. It's a rolling start for the Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell drivers. And look at that, 36 cars on the grid. What a fantastic sight. And it's going to be a real dash to turn 1, San Donato, between Jack Diver and Gautam Singhania. Safety car peels off. The engine note will rise, the anticipation and the excitement will rise as well as the lights go from red to green. Green! Indeed we do, as they're up to the timing line. Gautam Singhania has converted that pole position into P1 and will deny Jack Diver as they head towards turn 1. Eric Prinot, of course, will be right up the inside as well and will try and relegate Jack Diver down to P3. They are side by side as they go through turn 1. Singhania with a perfect start, and Eric Prinot has got ahead of Diver. So too has Christian Kinch and maybe Rick Lovett as well.
Okay, now do what you know to do. Go.
And they're making their way through this first opening lap. Race leader goes through. Singhania from Prinot, from Kinch, from Diver, Adamski, Lovett, Haladik. Then it's Chung and Thomas Loflad is P9 with Paul Van Loon output P10. So they scurry away. And Eric Prinot is sticking with Gautam Singhania like glue at the moment. Gautam Singhania P2 in the points, Eric Prinot P3. Now crucially, Jack Diver is down there in P4. Now he has a comfortable cushion at the top of the points chart, but needs to stay in a good point score.
Perfect.
Position.
Keep going like this. Keep going like this. 20 minutes to go.
But look at this. Eric Prinot really is right on the back bumper of Gautam Singhania, and he's not allowing the Indian racer to get away here.
I think he will win. Yes, I think he will win.
Ironically, one of the hardest races so far.
Yeah, but I think he is really motivated.
He, of course, will have more experience of this circuit, certainly, than Gautam Singhania, and will know how to make this circuit work. Up towards the Materazzi chicane now. Heavy braking from Gautam Singhania.
Keep going.
Through they go. Borgo San Lorenzo heading towards turn 6, which is Casanova.
Very good. Do not give up.
Any corner, any single centimeter.
17 minutes to go.
But Eric Prinot is really sticking with Gautam Singhania and is probably preferring the option of maybe pressuring Gautam Singhania into making a mistake. Just managed to gain another 10th on Prinot, and already with a grid of 36 cars, they're coming across back marking machines. Oh, and I just knew there was going to be contact between the two of them. So Corinna Gosner with Paul Van Loonhout getting together. They're both turned around and facing the wrong way.
7 minutes to go. Like I said, I think he's got this in the bag. So there he goes, increasing the lead ever so often. Fabulous.
And Prinot again is really pushing Gautam Singhania.
6 laps to go.
So Singhania and Prinot have pulled away a 5-second gap over the P3 car, Mugello circuits. There's Eric Prinot, who is now some 7/10 behind Gautam Singhania, who, to be fair to him, has not put a foot wrong. Early stages, a lot of pressure from Eric Prinot, but he's been able to resist that, and now he's just driving his own race and seems very comfortable out there.
He needs to keep going like this. He's doing perfect at the moment.
Is Christian going to open the gap and leave a gap there for Diver to dive into? Well, he is. That was a mistake, I'm sure, from Christian Kinch. It's absolutely amazing now. Christian really could lose out here. Ursa Haladik gets all sideways, manages to control it. Back to our P1 driver, Gautam Singhania.
Got 4 minutes to go. Gautam's driving like a king. He's kept Prinot behind. He's opened the gap. Got 4 more minutes to go. And looks like he settled in and Prinot stepped back. So that puts us maybe 5-6 points to 9 points ahead. So let's wait for 3 more minutes and then continue. And then we say, oh fuck, Mugello.
Diver is under a bit of pressure here now. You can see the lights being furiously flashed there by the Gregory Romanelli car. Oh, and a very sideways moment from Eric Prinot. Prinot just gets onto some loose stuff and gets oh so sideways. So Gautam Singhania now will cross the line, and I suspect this will be last lap for Gautam Singhania, who has led the whole lap without fault.
This is great, this is just awesome. How much time left now? I think we got 1 lap left. It's hard all the way, man. It's hard all the way. It's just great.
Do not give up. Last lap, last lap. Every single corner, do not give up.
So Eric Prinot then with the remainder of this lap and 6/10 to make up over Gautam Singhania. He's not been able to do it throughout the course of the race, and therefore I think it's unlikely that he's going to find an overtake here. I think it's also unlikely that Gautam will make a mistake. He certainly hasn't done all race long and has kept Eric Prinot at bay. So one more turn for Gautam Singhania, who will head now to take the checkered flag. He flashes his lights in appreciation to the Kessel team as Singhania wins from Prinot, P2. And it'll be what a race we've seen. 34 cars to cross, and just look how happy they are down there on the Kessel pit wall for Gautam Singhania.
Yes, one finally!
There is the winning car of Gautam Singhania.
We won! Like final!
North America, Romanelli.
Having created history as the first Indian ever to win a P1 in the Ferrari Challenge, Gautam and his team are absolutely over the moon.
You're the man! Finally, start to finish! The complete man!
So there is Jacques Diver then, of course, takes P3 in the European Series, which means he's done enough to seal the Coppa Shell Championship. And there's Gautam Singhania, who jumps for joy on the top step of the podium and very nearly falls backwards. National anthem for Gautam Singhania. So Gautam Singhania absolutely delighted up there, congratulated by his teammate Jacques Diver, whilst they're not their 1, 2, 3 across the line, as Gautam Singhania takes P1. Now, this will be a celebration moment. Gautam Gautam and Jacques and Eric all involved in the champagne fight up there on the podium.
As qualifying for race 2 approaches, Gautam and Team GHS have overall second position in the championship within their grasp. All they have to do is stay ahead of their main competitor, Eric Prinoth, something that is easier said than done.
I want him in less traffic.
Well, after watching him drive yesterday, I think he was driving like a man possessed. And if he continues and keeps that zone, the chances are, anything. He can do really well today. And we're hoping that he beats Prinoth, the Prinoth. Sorry, not allowed to say that, right? But I want him to come second in the whole championship, so I'm hoping he does well.
I'm also getting in here. Everyone, oh fuck! Oh fuck, hold the umbrella, yeah. Oh fuck!
During qualifying for race 2, Andrea has one eye on Gautam's performance, but he's also acutely aware of Eric Prinoth on his position on the track in relation to Gautam's.
He's P16, so he's 4 positions behind us.
It was quite a crazy result. Prinoth jumped up and time got deleted for I know what reasons, but it's a great result because we start not like yesterday. We start as how the grid is. So we start 13th on the grid, 5th in our class, and Prinoth is 3 positions behind us, which is great. So we just need to make sure that Prinoth's behind us for us to bag second in the championship. Oh.
What happened?
I don't know, I wasn't watching. I think Eric Prinoth at one of the turns has gone into him, and qualifying is so necessary.
Did you get a good time though?
Yeah. And Eric got it fastest time, but it was fastest time at a yellow flag, so we're hoping that it gets disqualified.
जरा मोटे थी बोल मने कई समझातू नथी. These are in the outtakes, are they?
No, this is going to the film.
Acha, the main row. Chalo, perfect.
What are you doing here? What's going on?
Well, we're all hoping Gautam can do as well today as he did yesterday. I think it might be a little bit tough today because he's starting a little further back than he was. But as you know, Jacques already put the championship away, and we're hoping Gautam can hold on to second, keep Eric behind, which would be a fantastic result for his first season, his first proper season of racing. So yeah, we're hoping he can hold on to second for the championship.
What do you think about Gautam as a person?
Gautam as a person?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. That depends on where he is.
Welcome back to Mugello in the sunshine as the Finali Mondali of the Ferrari Challenge continues its race 2. There is our Coppa Shell champion for Europe, who took the Coppa Shell championship yesterday, Jacques Diver. And there is Gautam Singhania, who won the race yesterday and goes from P13 on the grid. P13 for Gautam Singhania. It's always a rolling start for the Ferrari Challenge races. What a fantastic sight. And we'll bring you the lights. There they are at the top of your screen. Got a great view of the gantry as the lights will go from red to green now. 30 seconds of racing to come. Jacques Diver to the outside, then Rick Lovett to the outside on the other side of the track. Rick Lovett then is on the runoff area as they head up towards turn 1. Eric Prinoth, another man that's trying to make a charge as well. Are they all going to get through turn 1 unscathed? Quite a tight turn. This whole track is very technical. The key to it is being very, very smooth and quick. Not too many opportunities to overtake.
Very good. Keep going. Keep going.
Then Dirk Adamski and Zoyan von Skeltermar and Gautam Singhania having already moved up a place from P13 to P12. There is the Gautam Singhania car, wearing the colours of India. Here some 5.2 kilometres. And here in replay then, did wonder whether we were going to get away with...
Keep going like this, keep going. Prinot is 4th position behind you at the moment. Keep pushing.
Jacques Diver then is the European Coppa Shell champion in car number 192. Behind Jacques, two of his Kessel teammates. It's von Skeltermaar and Gautam Singhania. Gautam Singhania, the race winner from yesterday. So through the Materazzi chicane, heading towards the Casanova turn. But another incident there because we can see the gravel being thrown and spewed all across the track by the 133 car, which has obviously had an excursion out onto the gravel.
Keep going like this.
Here is our race leader then, Gregory Romanelli, who has got a very comfortable margin of 1.5 seconds up the road. 1, 2, 3, 4 with Gautam Singhania P5, Low Flair P6, then Haladik and Eric Prinot occupying the next position. So really good driving from Rick Lovett as we see Eric Chung out again. And Eric Chung out with the Dusan Palkra car as well. And this is how it happened. Well, you have to say that Eric Chung tried that overtake from a very, very long way back. Gautam is the one that looks the most lively out of all of them at the moment. Battle for 7th position between Rick Lovett and Dirk Adamski.
Gautam's 4th, now Skeltermaar's in front of him. He's 4th in his class. Skeltermaar's 3rd. So right now he's sitting pretty with the 2nd spot in the championship. But if we get a podium, it'll be lovely. So let's see. 1/3, 11 minutes to go.
Oh, and just a little bit of a sideways moment there for Gautam Singhania, getting out onto some of the marbles that have been thrown onto the track. So Rick Lovett then, who is in P7, is the one that is under pressure now from Dirk Adamski. 9.25 minutes of this race, which is being led by Romanelli as Jacques Diver. Replay there with Gautam Singhania, so Diver goes back ahead of Gautam Singhania. Indeed he has.
How's he doing? He's now 5th, he's slipped the position.
These three in fairness, the 3 cars of Singhania, Diver and Kessel's von Skeltermaar all racing for that Kessel team. Singhania is lining up Jacques Diver once again. Look at this, it's virtually welded to the back of that 458. So Singhania and Diver side by side as they go into turn 1, but there is Dirk Adamski. Now it's a long way around the outside and it's uphill as Singhania gets sideways.
Come on!
And is on the grass.
So now stay attached to him, please. Stay close to Prinot, that's it. That's all you have to do.
There, but he will have lost a handful of places and probably more besides. The returning Gautam Singhania is now behind Eric Prinot. So he's rejoined in P15 now for Gautam Singhania. And this is how it all happened. Well, Jacques, to be fair, was on the curbs. He couldn't really go any further and Gautam turned in.
Don't worry. They will clean it up. 4 laps to go, don't worry. 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go, don't worry. Do your stuff.
Well, Gautam Singhania's hopes perhaps of a win at another podium in these 2 races probably gone away now.
You still good?
Yeah.
He's still good as long as Prinot is in front, as long as he stays right behind Prinot. It's fine. Yeah, but you never know. What the fuck was he doing?
So we're into the final 5 minutes of this race. Gautam Singhania's pace has slipped away a bit since he's off onto the grass.
He needs to stay behind Prinot. If he goes beyond 3 or 4 positions behind Prinot, then Prinot will take the championship in number 2 spot. So it's a touch and go. We have 5 minutes left.
just in the distance here, you can see the Gautam Singhania car as well.
2 laps to go. 2 laps to go.
So the incident involving cars 192 and 180, no further action, we're being told, which doesn't altogether surprise me. Jack had really nowhere to go. He was right on the curbs, and Gautam really turned across the front of him.
If you keep the position, we are still second.
This then, confirmation of the last lap, a blue flag being shown, and now it's the final challenge potentially from Imperato, who has sat behind that 218 car, and will head towards the checkered flag and take a win here at Mugello in the Finali Mondali weekend. The checkered flag flies. Hasn't crossed the line yet, so it's Adamski P5, Garber P6, then it's Diver Skeltamar. Imperato takes P11. That's how many places he is.
Bravo! P2 on the championship. Bravo!
As Gautam crosses the finish line, he destroys the notion that an Indian cannot be successful in the ultra-competitive world of motor racing. He has achieved what no other Indian has done before.
P2 on the championship, very good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Be calm and your friend, please maintain you just celebrate your best championship, okay? That's it. Good morning, welcome to Mugello. We are on the final day here for the World Finals. Obviously today is the most important day of the World Weekend. Obviously Gautam, we're happy because Gautam will start in the first row. Very tough race. There is basically no rules for this race. The only rules is push to the limit from the first corner until the end.
Now this race we have a lot of more cars that from 3 different continents, Asia, North America and Europe. And we normally not race together. The European people know each other, American people know each other, but now we go on all the same game. So there are a lot of in the first corners will be tough. So we will see. Start soon it starts.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
It's going to be difficult. There's going to be almost 38 odd cars on the grid, a lot of traffic, but luckily we in the front row. We're starting second, so if we can get to win this, it'll be like the total icing on the cake. Tommy is got women. He's a complete man.
Very very good morning to you. Welcome to the sunshine once again here in Mugello. And we're about to get the Gold Roof race underway for our Coppa Shell drivers. It is the Finali Mondali, the world final race. The championships are all done and dusted. Now it's the pride, it's the privilege of the Gold Roof, the World Championship. Delighted to welcome alongside me top GT racer Tony Verlander. Tony, good to see you again. I've tried to emphasise the fact that pride is at stake here. It's really important, this world final race, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, for a world final now, as you said, the championship is done.
Yes.
Now it's sort of all in. Now it's who comes first to the checkered flag gets the glory and is the king of the year.
Right, before we get into the race proper, as we look at Manuela Gosner, one of three lady racers that we have on the track, and there is Gautam Singhania representing India, of course, and what a successful season he's had. Gautam Singhania goes from P2, that Indian racer, and there we see Thomas Loflad in car number 151, and all these drivers hoping for that glory to come. Now, as you mentioned, Tony, that as we get off on the formation lap here, all these things are going through the driver's mind, as you quite rightly say, and of course you have great experience of that. It is a bit colder this morning. It's the first race on the track. How many laps will it take to get those tyres up to the real operating temperature that they need, Tony?
For myself, the lap that you go on the grid, and actually this formation lap is one of the most important things. It gives you the information, the way the car is working, and this is also the moment where you can make your race.
Yes.
Because that normally when you go to a normal rhythm, all the lap times are 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds, 3/10 between first and fifth. But on the opening 2 laps, you can gain 3 seconds.
There's Gautam Singhania, who's going from P2 on the grid. He's already had one victory across this weekend, and wouldn't he love to fly back to India, having taken the world final race as well. And Jacques Diver is, of course, the Coppa Shell champion. Now, the marshal here is telling everyone to grid up because we have rolling starts in the Ferrari Challenge. So it's down to and it really is down to that front row, isn't it? It's the first 2 drivers. They then control the pace, if you like, of the formation lap towards its end.
Yeah, and if I understood correctly, between the first row drivers, there's already been a contact this weekend. So pretty exciting and tension to going to the first corner.
But of course, all of these drivers, they're in it for themselves, aren't they? Whilst they might be run by the same team, they are responsible for their own success or failure. So it is going to be very exciting as Jacques Diver and Gautam Singhania are released. And in fairness, the first 3 drivers were all from the Kessel team, because Rick Lovett, the Canadian racer, going from P3. As they head towards the light now, the tension begins to build. The anticipation certainly builds, and the engine note will rise any moment. Tony Verlander alongside me here in comms for this 40-minute world final race with Jacques Diver and Gautam Singhania. Thomas Loflad looking for a way, Eric Prinot as well, and Gautam Singhania with a poor start there. He could lose out to Rick Lovett, because Rick Lovett then was right behind Jacques Diver, and Gautam Singhania right in the middle there with Thomas Loflad, but he is going to hold on to P2. Loflad, it's a long way around the outside, and you're going uphill as well, and Eric Prinot trying to do the same.
Yeah, it's really tight battle between the 2nd and 4th places, and now there's a big contact and takes the top 3 out.
Oh, that's Loflad round Gautam Singhania, and Loflad also caught the back end of the Jacques Diver car as well, I think. So that will be giving the race lead effectively to that man, Eric Prinot. Gautam Singhania, ironically, is still in the race and he's still running in P2. There is Thomas Loflad. And there is Jacques Diver, the Coppa Shell champion. His world final dreams and aspirations are over. And there is Ronnie Kessel, team owner. He cannot believe it.
Is the car okay?
The race has nothing to do with the accident. He did a perfect start, perfect opening 2 corners, and then just was collected because other guys went on over the grass and lost the control of the race car. So really unfortunate start for the race.
What do you think? It wasn't our fault. I don't know, because they kept bumping. We bumped him back. We shouldn't have done that.
Well, we continue with the race, and the leader is Eric Prinot, who, and there we see Jacques Diver and also Tommy Loflad. They're both out of the race. But
do your line.
To take the Coppa Shell Championship this year. It went awry for him in the middle part of the season, but now If he could crown the season out with the gold roof by taking the World Championship, that would be brilliant. The World Final race. He leads, and he has already very nearly a 2-second gap over Gautam Singhania. That was a ridiculous move, wasn't it?
Yeah, again we saw driver 113 cutting over the grass in the last moment of the braking and collecting 121.
Yeah, well, let's see it again, because he comes from a long way back, doesn't he? And again there, Tommy Lindroth, completely an innocent party, Tony. The cars, of course, can be replaced. Pride, not necessarily so straight away. So we have a yellow flag sector through turns 1 and 2. We've just seen Tommy Lindroth then out as well. He will join that list of retirements with Thomas Loflad and Jack Diver. In the meantime, there is Gautam Singhania. Von Skeltermar is running in P3. Rick Lovett, the Canadian racer, is P4, and Thomas Gosner is P5. Now, the incident involving the cars right on that opening lap is under investigation by race control. We'll see if any penalties are awarded for that.
You have a drive-through penalty. You have a drive-through penalty. You decide what you want to, when you want to come in and out.
What I find amazing is there is Gautam Singhania P2, Von Skeltermar P3, and there is Rick Lovett. What I find amazing is that in the space of but a few laps, Eric Prinot has done exactly as you suggested needs to be done. He has built up a gap of 4.5 seconds. Now, that means that he has a lot of comfort over Gautam Singhania, but as you can see on the screen, Gautam Singhania is going to get a drive-through penalty anyway, so this will elevate Von Skeltermar and Rick Lovett further up the order.
Yes, you have to do the drive-through, and be careful on the pit limit.
As Gautam Singhania dives into the pit lane to take his drive-through penalty. Here is Rick Lovett. There is Gautam Singhania. His drive-through penalty was Rick Lovett going to line him up, and damage to the rearview mirror on the right-hand side of the car, pointed out by Tony. Thank you for that. And Gautam takes his drive-through penalty. He will rejoin way down the order.
Okay, go.
And getting past the Courtney car there, and can just see ahead the Gautam Singhania car. Now, he has made his way back up to P10 from his drive-through penalty. That's no mean achievement either.
No, it's a good way of racing, and we've seen his speed during the weekend and during the whole season, so that's not a surprise that he can actually get back to those places. Chip, I believe. He was P1 for the Coppa Shell Finali Mondali, so that's pretty rewarding.
Now there, I think Gautam Singhania was very lucky, because Zeckelman gave him racing room, didn't he? He looked in his mirror, saw he was there, and thought, whoa, I'm not going to dive in here.
Yeah, Singhania saw the nose of the car, hoping that there will be the space, and another driver gave him the space. He's challenging through the field. Unfortunately, he had the drive-through penalty earlier on, but he's showing a great pace.
He is. He's up to P8 now from having served that drive-through penalty. So it's a great pace from Gautam Singhania, the Indian racer then, in this world final race at Mugello. And well, that's interesting, as Christian Hobome allows him room to go through. Christian, one of those back-marking racers. To recap the order then, it's Prinot that's leading by 11, well, just under 12 seconds, only 0.2 under 12 seconds. Then it's Skeltermar, Lovett, Gosner, Kinch, Lendudis, Kriton Lendudis, then it's Zin, and then it's Singhania, Zeckelman, and Holger Hansen is P10.
Yeah, really interesting to follow the racing lines Singhania is using, and really aggressive. Great racing lines through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Really impressive.
P7, P8 then, it's Gautam Singhania chasing down Zin now. In that gold liveried car, there is Gautam Singhania. Looks of anxiety on the pit wall there, but no look of anxiety on this man, who has been faultless, really. Eric Prinot has driven every lap, pinpoint accuracy.
Now is the remaining less than 8 minutes. Just needs to bring that car to the checker flag safe.
Gautam Singhania, that in replay, you could just see as he went to turn in the other car, didn't he?
Yeah, he a little bit caught him, and hopefully there is no contact.
Oh no! That's Christian Kinch, who we've been seen battling for P4. Gosner is out as well, so there's obviously been contact between the two of them, Tony.
And Singhania is gaining places because of this accident. He's back to P5.
That's extraordinary, isn't it? When you consider that he had to serve a drive-through penalty, and He is now up to P5, Gautam Singhania, in the Raymond liveried car that you can see there. So Singhania then driving really, really well in making up places, heading towards the we're in the closing stages of this world final race for our Coppa Shell racers. So Eric Prinot then will round out the season in fine style by, assuming he keeps the car on the track for the final few turns, will head towards the checkered flag to take the world final racing. The pride of all ahead, and he has the final Buccini turn to do. He's already waving ahead of the checkered flag, and he knows that he is going to take the world final race as he heads towards the line now. The checkered flag falls on our victor. Eric Prinot is the world final race winner in Coppa Shell. Here's Gautam Singhania, who is going to get a very, very creditable P4 because he got past Kriton Lendudis in the final lap. So Gautam Singhania takes P4, Kriton Lendudis P5. Remarkable driving from that man after his drive-through penalty, Tony.
Okay, the first corner is obviously was everybody wants to go in front, up front. Everyone wants to be up there, and obviously we need to understand that every decision has been made in very small thousandths of a second. So we cannot blame anyone. Obviously, that's part of experience. That's part of the growing experience in Gautam for next year and for the future. We talked already about this, and I think he understood. Apart that, I can't ask him anymore because he did a beautiful race from 21st position after the drive-through. He drove like a pro. He overtook so many people, and he became so close to the podium. So, what we can ask him?